Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jenny and I, exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML. That's a managed service provider in Queens, NY.
Right, and they offer a whole suite of services.
Yeah.
Network management, voice over IP, which you might know as VoIP, and UCaaS, cybersecurity compliance.
Also, IaaS infrastructure as a service cloud solutions, plus Microsoft 365 and Azure. So if you're a small business owner or maybe you manage IT for a growing company, this deep dive is definitely for you.
Our mission today is pretty focused. We're unpacking Len Kaplan's post. Will your company be able to function if a provider fails?
Yeah, we want to pinpoint those hidden operational threats, in your vendor relationships, and more importantly, figure out the practical steps to build real resilience.
And we don't really have to imagine what happens when these digital giants stumble. Kaplan's article kicks off by referencing a massive real-world event.
Oh, yeah, the Amazon Web Services outage. That was October 2025.
Exactly. AWS. It kind of underpins so much of the internet.
I think everyone felt that one. When AWS has a major problem, it's not just a small glitch. The impact was huge.
It wasn't just niche stuff either. We saw consumer services like Alexa, Fortnite, Snapchat just go dark.
And big companies, too. McDonald's had issues, parts of Microsoft 365, even Apple Music were affected.
It was a stark reminder, wasn't it, that being big doesn't make you invincible.
Definitely. So the incident wasn't just a disaster. It was more like a global dress rehearsal, showing businesses how fragile things can be.
That's a good way to put it. And the core problem, as the article lays out, is depending too much on a single point of failure, a SPOF.
Right. We get comfortable, don't we? We sign up with AWS or Google or Microsoft, and we think they've got the best engineers. This will never go down.
Yeah, that's the assumption. But Kaplan's post reminds us, even these huge platforms can have glitches, configuration errors, technical faults. Could be internal, could be external.
So if your whole business operations, backups, connectivity relies on just one vendor,
You've built yourself a SPOF, a really dangerous one. You've outsourced the hardware, maybe, but not the responsibility to stay open.
and when that fails, the consequences are real, and they hurt. The article points out 4 big risks.
First one's obvious. Operational downtime. Straight up. Employees can't log in.
Your cloud-based voice-over IP phones stop ringing. Critical data. Gone, temporarily. If you're making things, production just halts.
Yeah. Then number 2, the hit to the wallet. Revenue loss. Right away.
Missed deadlines on service-level agreements, orders just stop coming in, customer service is dead in the water.
For an online store, even an hour down during a busy time. Ouch.
Huge impact. Third, and this one lingers, reputation damage.
Right. Customers expect things to just work. When you vanish, even for a bit, that trust erodes fast. And people talk, especially online.
For sure. And finally, number 4, compliance failure. This is huge for certain sectors.
Oh yeah, finance, healthcare, insurance. They have strict rules like HIPAA, HIPAA. Your systems or backups needed for compliance suddenly aren't there because your provider failed.
Looking at serious fines, regulatory heat. It's not just having the data. You need to prove you can get to it. Always.
So the big takeaway from that AWS event, according to Kaplan's article, is pretty clear. You need redundancy, even with these massive cloud players.
We can't just wait for the next big outage to see where we're weak.
Exactly. That AWS mess was a wake-up call, a free rehearsal, like you said.
So now we got to move beyond just, backing up files somewhere.
Yeah.
We need actual system resilience. The blog post outlines 7 pillars for this. Let's dig into those action items, starting with data.
Okay, pillar 1, diversify your digital footprint, often called a multi-cloud strategy. Meaning you might run your main stuff, say your production environment on AWS,
Yeah.
but you keep warm backups or maybe even mirror key apps on a totally different platform, like Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud.
Spreading the risk across different vendors.
Precisely. You mitigate risk by diversifying the platform itself.
Okay, but hang on. Doesn't that double the work? 2 interfaces, 2 bills, maybe different skill sets needed. Sounds complex for a smaller business.
That's the trade-off, absolutely. And the article acknowledges it. But you have to weigh that complexity against the cost of your entire business being offline for, say, 2 days.
Right. The calculation changes when you think about it that way.
And if full multi-cloud seems like too much right now, Kaplan suggests a middle ground. Use multiple regions within the same provider.
Okay. So still with AWS, for example, but using their East Coast and West Coast data center.
Exactly. You get geographic separation, some logical separation, without managing multiple vendors. Less complex, still better resilience.
But either way, multiple vendors or multiple regions, the key is testing, isn't it? You have to actually practice failing over.
Non-negotiable. Don't just assume the failover works because you set it up. You have to test it regularly.
Which leads right into pillar 2. Keep your live data and your backup data completely separate.
Absolutely critical rule, never ever store live and backup data in the same cloud account, same data center, or even with the same provider.
Why is that so vital?
Because if one environment fails or worse, gets compromised by something like ransomware, you need that backup copy to be totally independent and untouched.
Ah, the ransomware angle. So separating them protects against cyber threats, too, not just outages.
Definitely. And that brings up the idea of offline or air-gapped backups, which the article stresses for worst-case scenarios.
Air-gapped, meaning totally disconnected.
Physically or logically disconnected, yes.
Sure.
So if some really nasty malware gets into your live network and starts deleting or encrypting everything.
It can't jump across that air gap to hit your backups. It's the ultimate safety net.
Exactly. Ensures no single attack can wipe out both production and recovery copies.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've covered data storage. Moving to daily operations, Pillar 3 is about your connection to the internet. Multiple internet providers.
This is basic physical resilience, but so often overlooked. Got one fiber line? Great. Until a construction crew cuts it.
And your whole business is offline. Instantly.
Right. Kaplan's Post pushes for 2 diverse ISPs. Maybe fiber plus cable or fiber plus fixed wireless. Something different, so one incident doesn't take out both.
But just having 2 lines isn't the whole story, is it? They need to work together.
Correct. You need smart gear to manage them. The article recommends a load balancing firewall, or even better, an SD-WAN solution. That's software-defined wide area network.
SD-WAN. What does that do differently?
It's smarter. It doesn't just switch lines when one fails. It constantly monitors the quality of both connections. Often lets you use both at the same time. And the failover, it's automatic, instantaneous.
So if IFPA drops, ISTB picks up right away, and users might not even notice.
That's the goal. Seamless. That's the difference between a tiny blip and losing half a day's work.
Got it. Okay, Pillar 4 shifts focus inside the office, keeping hot standby equipment.
Your firewall is key here. It's the gateway. If it dies, business stops.
So a hot standby is like a backup firewall.
Exactly. A secondary firewall that mirrors the main one's configuration, ready to take over instantly if the primary fails. It protects against hardware failure inside your building.
Smart. Kind of low-tech readiness for high-tech problems. And this applies elsewhere too.
Yep. Keep spare network switches, maybe routers, pre-configured, ready to swap in quickly. If a switch serving 50 people dies, you want that fixed in minutes, not waiting days for replacement.
Right. Minimize that internal downtime too. Okay, Pillar 5. This one's for hybrid setups, mix of local servers and cloud. On-premises continuity.
Yeah, this means having local servers, specifically virtualization hosts, that can actually run your essential systems if the cloud connection is totally gone.
Like a local lifeboat.
Pretty much. You need to make sure critical data syncs constantly between your local setup and the cloud. But here's the warning from the article.
Let me guess. Test it.
Test it, quarterly at least.
Oh.
Test restoring locally. It's so common for businesses to think their local backup works, then find out during a crisis it failed months ago.
Assume nothing, test everything. Okay, Pillar 6, documentation and automation.
Because when things go wrong, panic is your enemy. The article recommends creating detailed runbooks.
Runbooks, step-by-step guides.
Exactly. Who does what, in what order, how you verify recovery is complete. Written clearly enough that someone who isn't your top tech guru can follow it under pressure. Takes the guesswork out.
And automation helps here too.
Hugely. Automate things like DNS failover, restarting services, anything you can script. And practice. Run drills, simulated or real, to find holes in your runbooks before a real disaster.
Makes sense. Find the weak spots before they bite you. Okay, last one, Pillar 7, be proactive. Monitor provider health.
Don't wait for users to complain. You need to know first.
Oh.
Simple stuff, mostly. Subscribe to your provider's status pages and notifications. Use independent uptime monitoring tools that can catch issues before even the provider announces them sometimes.
And keep track of dependencies.
Know which tools rely on which platforms. If 5 critical apps all run on, say, Azure, maybe look at diversifying 1 or 2 if possible. Reduce that concentration risk.
Okay, wow. That's 7 solid steps. Goes way beyond just backing up files.
It really does. And connecting it all back to Len Kaplan's core message.
Yeah.
The so what is clear. Redundancy isn't a nice to have, it's foundational. It's operational resilience.
You just can't afford to wait for the next big outage to see if your plan works.
Exactly. The article's final point is spot on. Even short interruptions kill productivity, stall projects, and, yeah, open up those compliance risks we talked about.
The time to build this resilience is absolutely now.
Mm,
And look, putting multi-cloud backups in place, setting up SD-WAN, running those quarterly tests, that's not trivial stuff. It's complex,
it can be, yeah.
which is exactly where expertise comes in. It's why firms like CDML and other good managed service providers exist. They help businesses actually do this stuff.
Right. Implementing the hybrid backups, deploying the firewalls, running and documenting the tests.
Yeah.
Taking that complexity off your plate.
So you can focus on your business, knowing the digital infrastructure is built to keep running, no matter what happens out there.
That's the goal. Resilience.
Well, if you found this deep dive helpful, maybe gave you some things to think about, please do click that thumbs up button. It lets us know we're on the right track.
We'd appreciate it.
Till next time.